Is that my baby? Is that Charlie? Oh, the first thing I'm gonna do is give it a walk. Promise you. Hey, soul. I know, you think that's not too clear? You should. We have one where I've never seen. Yeah, it's like it's a emissions. I believe that they're X-ray emissions. Think about how much mass in an X-ray to create that. But anyways, I saw it do my baby's face, and it was in such detail. I was like, this has got to be like photoshopped, but it wasn't. But it was an X-ray emission that was coming out of the sunset, which made it extremely hard to like see on the TV whenever they blurred it out, which is kind of disrespectful to my son. But wow, I saw it again. And here's the thing, Atlas is coming around from the dog constellation. I know. Hey, dude. Right? Oh, I know. But we can't be sad because this is the books. This is the Dead Sea Scrolls. The stuff that was recently found that didn't make it. It was lost. So we're celebrating. There's nothing bad. You can't look at it bad. Now I can't stand it. I can't stand it at all. It scares me to death. But this is something that we still talk about. Funerals, getting embalmed. So we have to respect this. Now tell me why it isn't the other way around, right? So this thing is the reason why we at least can preserve a body after death to have a ceremony. I mean, wow, I wouldn't know how to do that. These people might have been so good that they knew how to bring it back to life. Maybe that's why they say Jesus came back to life. And I'm not saying that that is true, but I'm saying that I guess, like, if you look at a plant, I believe that you could grow a plant that's from a dead plant, possibly, somehow. But, and I mean, in some circumstance, like, possibly just dry it out, no water, right? I believe that it can still be revived. It would be very hard, but what if these people were mummifying people with everything needs to jumpstart back up or something, which is very interesting because that's something that man, why would man do that? I don't understand. Like, wrap up a body. There's something else, so maybe we'll find it out. And people are like, this is dumb. It's like, well, I don't know, maybe we'll learn something new, right? But I know this was one of the eyes, right? Am I crazy? I was in a ramble and I totally was like, do I talk about it or do I just let it be? what if it is these spirits that are like making me speak? And it's like, why would you do that? I have no clue. And it's like, they have this thing called the weighing of the heart and the feather. And, oh wow, look, there's a jackal. That is Anubis. I'm gonna stop talking about that because look at the balance. It's all about making perfect balance. That's perfect. That's beautiful. Good job. Never seen it perfect. I didn't mean to be a Debbie Downer because, like I said, they're celebrating the dead. We saw my baby. I know last time we were so, like, in shock. It was like, you know, like, I want my kid to be all good at sports, you know, when you're in the stands, you're like, that's my kid, that's my son, hey. That's what I was doing. I wish I could find that video. Sir Charles. Now, I wonder what King Charles III is doing right now. If I see my dog in the sky, I'll put it this way, it's happened 3 times and it's not even funny, but I haven't had anybody contact me, which is very ignorant. We see Trump like a political comic strip, and then something crazy happens. So it's like, we'll see it out here. And the first time, it was actually when this was going on last year, and it was the weighing of the heart and the feather, and we saw him. And I had no idea that the president of Egypt, they had just released a bunch of hostages. It was a huge deal, huge deal. And I was like, oh my goodness, you see how it works. The Egyptian people, I believe, know. And us Americans, maybe we forgot. And whenever those people were released, they weren't supposed to be. Trust me, they had no intention. And it's like, I'm pretty sure it's something we don't want to know. But whatever happened, they were like, we have to. It's telling us to. And they actually did it. That's a miracle. Those people were saved because they actually did what they did back in the day. Isn't that amazing? They even came to America to talk to our president and say, listen, dude. Now, they said they were talking about something else, but then behind closed doors is when we talk. And that's how it works. That's kind of like why the king was down here. It's like, what are you doing now, dude? But I have heard whispers that he likes our videos. So why don't you talk to us? Like, what if we're like your Nostradamus? Seems like everybody's out to get you. When it's like, right now, you're at your most stable time in your life. Doesn't that suck? Dang. And then there was whenever it's like, well, if I try to tell you and you don't reply, but then y'all steal everything, and it's like, oh Lord, you just want it to happen again? And what happened? They shoot at his ear. Why? Because he didn't listen. And it's like, I kept telling you, it's telling me to say something, and I did. It's a bad idea. I even called Debo. Y'all guys can look back. It's like, yo, everybody from YouTube is like, oh wow, this dude got Debo. And it was never any, we have to be humorous. Remember we were talking about that? Humility, humor? He understands that. It's not that. I don't know who has more, who, and it's like, all right, United States, then prove us that y'all are the best. To say, hey, we're gonna talk to Brandon because we're the best. Not Egypt. They're gonna have to go through Brandon and the United States. Not just possibly another country hijacking it from the United States. And the United States may not even know. Now that would be terrible. If our president is seeing these stupid videos and is like, oh well, I don't care. And that's why we have the other side of those people that are like dying for these things. You see what I mean? So I was like, dude, this is pretty interesting that they would set the blueprint up like this to, but then at the same time, it's like, wait a minute, y'all, don't forget about me. Especially like, I mean, this was supposed to be 5 years ago, one email. Now my life starts. I'm getting old. And now things are getting like very negative. Like everything is going on bad. But the thing didn't want to kill it. It didn't want to kill it. Because why? We voted for it. You get it? Simple. And then I hear things like, they're like, guess what? Nobody cares. Why don't you vote the other way? And I was like, dude, I'll just run for president. I'm not even lying. Because yesterday, a robot is stretching out its wheel, and it's not it that is doing it. Something is making his hands move up and down. And there's only a handful of people, I believe, on Earth that have that kind of AI knowledge. I guess they have those, the new ones, but dang, it's like, we're not even connected. We're off grid, and somehow somebody connects to us. And they break everything. And I'm falling for my babies. I already did. That's whenever that happens. And it says, say something. Actually, it says write it down. And you want to know what's funny? Before, I took a break from doodling. So there's about a gap of about 10 years, maybe less. But, well, absolutely a gap of continuously, like, I've been kind of trying to catch up, dust off my shoulders, but I think that's funny to see those videos crystal clear, but the videos of me drawing, and then I look up at the sky, look horrendous. Now, if other people are quote unquote buying these videos, now what if, like, wouldn't it be amazing to have a savior that was like, okay, they had to go deep dive and buy my video knowing that it was stolen just to figure out everything, and not just buy it. They say, I'll give you millions, right? We'll find out who gets the million, and then they get a million, and it's worth every penny, I swear to God, because then I'll be done I won't have to deal with it anymore. You got your million, friend. Who wants to be a millionaire? Alright, King Charles III should be standing next to me if that crocodile is standing next to me, because it protects the king. What is this? Maybe, I don't know. It's like, what do you want to do? I'm saying I contacted the FTC because they're breaking the robot. And it's like, Brandon is nothing. And here's a dream that we had. Okay, so I bought the company. I bought everything that was making that company a company. I wasn't planning on building a dang robot company, but I did want everything for my own research. And that meant automatically making AI code. Now, my ideas were already past AI. OpenAI wasn't even open. We were over here with our own thing. So, whenever we got hacked, it was like, okay, I'm gonna put this aside. Remember Charlie? I'm trying to do my baby, and then on top of it, there is some reason why the two companies that owned it and actually sold robots, like, they both shut down. And then now somehow I look on the internet and there's a company that is using both names, so it's Digital Dream Labs Anarchy, and they are selling robots. Now they even have social media, and it's like, Jesus Christ. Like, you guys are using the same name? Or did somebody just steal my license that had never been opened, altered it, and probably opened up? And it's like, that was the thing, is like, they're like, well, why would they do that? Well, because you can't get your own AIs. You have to basically rent them. Now, whatever led me to that water, I don't have a lot of money, but I spent all the money I had because I had a feeling. Now, whoever makes a very good investment in the stock market, nobody's going to come steal from them because they got lucky or they were strategic. But nobody makes fun of Jimmy Buffett. You get it? It's a little bit past that time. But I'm not kidding. Like, I woke up with the feeling of, oh my goodness, I have no communication and somebody really is there. And it's like, what if there's like people that go on their job? It's like, I only work from 2 to 4, but I have to make sure this guy's life is not good, and he gets off. And like they say, people are getting like money deposit. It's like, wow. They're giving you money? And it's like, yeah, the United States of America will contract this to people. And I was like, really? I want to contract it. I want to sell my data. And they make it impossible. It's probably because it's cheaper. But if I say this, doesn't that nullify it? Right? I mean, would that not be... Okay, we're going to come down to ethics. So it's like, when I was a kid, I was like, what is ethics, right? I don't know. That means the extraterrestrial type forces you're going to do. Okay, they're shooting a laser in my brain with a smart meter that's for an industrial area that's just for my personal house. So that's a lot of radio frequency, way too much. And it's okay. I don't want to die this way. That's why I'm telling King Charles III, the United States is paying for this. Look, now there's a tear going down the crocodile's face. I don't know. Maybe people put tears on their face for a reason. Right? Get it? Alright, bye.